Math 102, example 1.2.1. We'd like to find domain and range. Domain is basically just the x values, and range is the y values. So let's look at our first option where we've got a set of ordered pairs, 2, 7, negative 12, 3, and 8, negative 16. Here I'm just going to do D for domain and then R for range. So again, domain is just the x values. So the x values listed are 2, negative 12, and 8. I'm going to put them in between those little squiggly brackets. Similarly, range is the y values. So here it's going to be 7, 3, and then negative 16. Now, that's what happens if we just have a set of ordered pairs. Most of the time in this class, we're going to actually have lines where we're not just including the first point and the last point, but everything in between as well. So that means we will have to write this as an interval. So for B, my domain, it starts at negative 2 and it ends at positive 2. Now I've got circles, filled in circles at each end, so that means I am going to include those endpoints, so I'm going to put brackets around that. Now range is the y's. I always read from bottom to top. Now the lowest value isn't strictly listed, but we do see here it is 0. So I'm going to start at 0 and then go up to 4. And once again, I am including those numbers, so I will use brackets. Generally for domain and range, we will probably include those endpoints. The most common time that we see parentheses is if we've got an infinity. And speaking of infinity, let's look at that last one. Here we have arrows. Arrows means that it keeps going. Now it's not just going straight up, it is going to both the left and the right as well. So here, for domain, eventually I do hit everything. So when it's everything, in words, we describe that as all real numbers, which as an interval, we write as negative infinity to positive infinity. The range is not everything though. Here's my lowest point here at the bottom. That looks like positive 1. So it's positive 1, infinity. Again, I always go from smallest to largest. I'm going to include that one, but again, infinity takes a parenthesis.